Remember that wonderful song sung together by, of course, icons, literally Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, Sammy Davis Jr., amongst others, "You either have or you haven't got style." Remember that one? What a brilliant song, and really encapsulated everything that you needed to know about, if you're a man or indeed a woman, there's certain things that you need to wear, whether you're going out as a treat, maybe with your family for afternoon tea, somewhere a little bit posh. You get your better outfits out, don't you? Because you want to feel good and you want people to know that you fit in that particular arena. And it's interesting, as we've seen, I don't know if you agree on this, but the decline of modern manners, you know, literally just people saying please and thank you, people afraid to say anything because it could be misinterpreted, you know, whether you stand back. I stood back, for instance, the other day for a girl on the bus, and she looked at me up and down and said, "No, you're first." I said, "Well, I'm just being, you know, mannered." And she said, "I don't need that." I thought, please yourself. Then pushed forward. I thought, you know, this is the world we're now training people in. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. I was just being polite. You know, what's wrong with that? Seemingly, though, even style and manners are going out of fashion. Let me explain. Hi, nice to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time out to join me today. I'm glad, no, yes, we'll have a quick wave. I'm glad that you sort of agree with me, you know, in part on this, because I told you a while back now that it's very difficult, particularly in mainstream stores, to go out and buy, you know, suits, because they're either really skinny suits for young kids, you know, the super, men will know what I mean by this, super slim fit, you know, you've almost got to be near death and under 6 stone to be able to get in them, you know, and you kind of think, who buys suits at that age and wants to look like that? They're totally getting this wrong. But here's where it gets more interesting, because as we've seen the decline of people wearing jackets and ties, and have you noticed this on television now? If they want to become a little bit more accessible, they take the tie off like they do on Sky Sports, but it just makes them look scruffy. Certain necks should be covered up, yes. I'm chucking myself in there. Certain things need to be covered up, because after an age, it can look like you need cranberry serving with it. You know what I'm saying? Turkey, yes. Now, what's interesting here is we've seen a whole bunch of people who want to be taken a little bit more seriously with the younger crowd, the Gen Z, Gen Z crowd, right? And world leaders like, of course, the Right Honourable Rishi Sunak. Well, we told you about him the other day. He's now being caught out wearing Adidas trainers, apparently a very trendy young brand. And apparently a lot of people were offended by this. I personally wasn't. It's obviously something he wants to do. But now other leaders are doing the same thing, like the wannabe Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, rocking up in trainers and sitting there with no tie on, just a jacket, and basically trying to point out to people, you know, oh, I'm very casual and very accessible. The reason they're doing this, let me tell you, is because they want the TikTok crowd, as they call it. They want the young kids to follow them on TikTok, and if they're wearing that, well, look, we all know this, don't we, if we're of a certain vintage, and you'll all agree with me on this. It's the point of when can you get away with things? I saw a feature the other day for a few in a magazine, and it said for ladies, when's it right to wear white jeans? I would say there's a certain size point, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you disagree, but the thing is, it doesn't matter how old you are, certain things are for the young and certain things are for the mature, and really never the twain shall meet. If you want to be a world leader, you need to command respect. You need to look like you could lead people, not somebody who's popped in from walking the dog or indeed having a jog round the park. Are you with me? So do you agree that world leaders should in fact go back to more formal attire, look like they could actually lead something into a crisis or solve a crisis? Or are you very happy with this dressed down look? I'm sure you'll know my opinion. You can see behind me what I'm looking at as well. This is the modern youth of today. Not the right sort of look for me, can understand it's for them. But do you agree? Should, of course, world leaders be ditching the sneakers and getting back to making sure that we focus on what they're supposed to be doing, rather than them trying to be achingly trendy? Do like and share, and as ever, be polite in the comments, but truly, let me know what you think. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.